Why is it so important to simply just do the first step and go for it? You can just ask yourself, what is holding you back right now? And a lot of people say that they really just need to have everything figured out before they start. A lot of online coaches worry about how to start. And I heard a lot of them saying, I have to have everything figured out from the get-go in order to know how to start. And let me tell you something, this is simply not the case. What you really have to have figured out is not everything, but a mindset that allows you to be open for new things. A mindset that allows you to learn something new. A mindset that allows you to be open for new perspectives, new opportunities, and growth. Growth is more than just change. But in order to grow, the first thing we have to do is change, because when we don't change anything, nothing will change. Let me tell you a story that clarifies what I mean by a mindset that is open for new things. A story of an empty cup and a wise man. Because a lot of people think when they have figured out everything in order to start, their cup is full and then they're ready to go. That's just simply not the case. A professor once wandered far into the mountains to visit a famous Zen monk because he wanted life instruction. He wanted to learn from this monk what to do next. And when the professor found the monk, he politely introduced himself. He listed all of his academic titles and he asked for instructions. Would you like a tea? The monk said. Yes, with pleasure, said the professor. The old monk poured tea and the cup was already full, but the monk kept pouring tea until the tea overflowed and dripped all across the table and the floor. Enough! Exclaimed the professor. Can't you see the cup is already full? Nothing more will go into it. And the monk replied, just like this cup, you are full of your knowledge and prejudices. In order to learn something new, you must first empty your cup. How can you learn something new? Create a new opportunity for yourself, get a new perspective on life, and therefore flexibility in your behavior. Create freedom for your life, for your family maybe, for yourself, and break out from old patterns that once were helpful for you but are not longer helpful for you in the present moment. When you think that your cup is full enough and when you don't allow something to pour and when you don't allow new knowledge, new opportunities to pour. Instead of trying to figure everything out, there's something way more important for you that you have to do. And that is take your cup, empty it, and be ready to learn something new, to make experiences, to learn and to grow. Be ready to fail and to learn from these mistakes and to go further. I want you to take your cup, to empty it, and to be ready to receive. When you're not ready to receive, when you're not ready to empty your cup, you will just go along with a full cup. There won't be any space for you in order to create something new. Once you got rid of your old prejudices, your old belief systems, everything, old limitations, everything that once worked for you but is not longer serving you, once you got rid of that, you are ready to create something new. Your cup is then empty and you have space for something new. When you're not ready to get rid of the old stuff, the old limitations, the old belief systems that once served you but are not longer helpful for you, you won't have this empty space to fill with new experiences, with new beliefs that help you more, that serve you better. This is just your decision to make right now. Will you go further with the full cup, thinking that you already have everything learned that you need? Or are you ready and willing to empty that cup and create space in order to create something new. And of course, you already have everything within you that you need to start. You have all the resources that you need. I don't know what resources are important for you. Maybe self-confidence, maybe trust, maybe security, maybe the will, motivation, success. Of course, all of these things are already within you, but what you need to do is empty your cup in order to receive something new. And I don't know what you want to fill your cup with, but you definitely have everything that you need in order to start. There is more new space to fill with new knowledge that you have not even thought about. There's so much to learn every day. So when you always make sure that there's space in your cup, I promise you, you will reach your goals. You will get there. Work with what you have. Utilize what you have so you get where you want to be. Something else I wanted to mention. When we really take a close look at this sentence, I have to have everything figured out. Obviously not. When we look and zoom in into the word everything, is it really everything you have to have figured out? It's a very broad word. It's a big generalization to use in order to explain what you feel and how you feel. Don't trick your brain. Is it even possible to have everything figured out yet? I personally don't think so. Think of someone who you think has already figured out everything. Think of this person now. Okay, what is there to learn? How do you know that this person doesn't lack knowledge or experience or skill in other departments, in other parts of their life? How do you know? See, this is all mind games. So be aware of the words you use. When you say everything, you can then ask yourself, is it really everything that I think I have to have figured out? Or maybe it's easier to zoom in the situation again and to pick one thing that you should have figured out from the get-go in order to start. How I personally would start is to answer the question, what do you really want? How free, how independent, how helpful, how successful do you want to be? Pay attention to every word you use. Here at the Coaching Masters, we offer the NLP Practitioner and Master Practitioner course, which is teaching you how to be aware of the words you use when you talk to yourself, potential clients, family members, people around you. Starting an online coaching business requires you to be open to learn something new, to be open for change, to be open to learn from experience, and to simply be flexible, to do something different than you did it before, because this is the only way you can get better. Think of a toddler learning how to walk. Kids just keep going until they can walk. What adults do is they always just try one strategy, which is not really successful, and then they just come up with this negative self-talk why they just don't get to their goal. But instead of just trying new strategies like the toddler in order to learn how to walk, a lot of adults, and this is just how we have subconsciously learned to not be flexible anymore. Be like the toddler, try out new things and keep going until you are there, until you've reached your goal. Starting an online coaching business, you rather need to learn how to do something different and to adjust and to learn from experience instead of having everything figured out from the beginning. How can you have everything figured out if you haven't even started? That's the real question. There are two people. One person is constantly thinking of how to have everything figured out in order to start. And the other person is already trying out. It's already experiencing, learning from experience, and then adjust, change, do something different, and get better. So when you look at these two persons, this person is still thinking, sitting, trying to figure it out. This person is already doing it. So what do you think? Which person will have their first client quicker? While this person is still thinking and thinking and thinking and trying to make it perfect before this person starts, this person has already tried it out. This person has already learned the lesson and adjusted the strategy. This person already knows how to run. This person didn't even start to walk. So it's your decision. Do you want to learn how to walk? Maybe even to run? You can only get to the running part when you learn how to walk. And that requires a first step. That requires you to start without thinking about it, just going for it. Learn how to trick your brain. Don't think about everything, just think of the next step, only the next step, to make it easier for your brain to just go for it, to just start with the first step. I want you to write down 3 things that you are convinced of that make you successful. And I don't care what that is. Once you've written down these 3 things, prioritize which of these 3 things are the most important for you. Are these 3 things that are just facts? Are these 3 wishes? Are these statements about yourself? Are these 3 to-dos for you? I don't know what this is that you will write down, but it's important that you have a priority and that you do the first task. You can tick number 1. How good would it feel if you have ticked number 1 by the end of tomorrow? Let's go.